The user's answers fail validation. Show them the page again, with the form fields as the user filled them in. Add error to the beginning of the page title so screen readers read it out as soon as possible. In other words, the error messages can be missed and cause confusion for the user if the error is not announced immediately, since it would mean they need to navigate through the header and navigation before finding the message. Like this example.
Button. Continue button. Link. Skip to main content. Link. Skip to main content. Link. Governor UK. Link. Employment tribunals. Menu. Empty navigation. Beta. Link. Your feedback helps us to improve this service. Link. Simread. Link. Back. There is a problem. And one more item. Alert. Heading level 2. There is a problem. List one item.
If
Link.
the user had to do this every time an error occurred, it would be very time-consuming and frustrating. Error validation must include the heading, "There is a problem," show an error summary at the top of the page, and move keyboard focus to it. You can verify that focus is directed to the error summary by using screen readers and keyboard-only navigation, where a yellow border indicates focus. GDS requires you to show error messages next to fields with errors and use a red border to visually connect the message and the question it belongs to. If the error relates to a specific field within the question, give it a red border and refer to that field in the error message. For example, you must enter a year. The error summary should contain the same error messages as those given next to the errors. You must link the errors in the error summary to the form field they relate to. You can check this by navigating to the error summary, selecting the error message and checking that the focus is taken to the correct form field. Good error messages provide the user with details about what went wrong and how to fix it. In plain English, the message must be concise and to the point. Do not use error messages such as, "An error occurred, answer the question, select an option, fill in the field or this field is required." Error summaries should make sense out of context and reduce the cognitive effort needed to understand what has happened. For example, listen to these two messages without any context and try to figure out what the problem is and what you need to do to fix it.
Error. There is a problem. This field is required. This field is required. This field is required.
Versus
Error. There is a problem. Enter your first name. Enter your last name. Enter your home postcode.
With the second example, it is more obvious what went wrong and how to fix it.
Let's change the state of this to an error. It's also important to highlight a component state. So when you create your design system, I recommend that you have your component states such as default and error states. So I'll just show you an example of what this state would look like. So here we've got all the different states for text inputs. So here we've got focus states, we have an error state, we have a filled in state, different states if it's filled in, as well as received focus, etc. States like these make it much easier when it comes to prototyping and showcasing the behavior of your components. So let's imagine that the users has inputted a number into here, but they haven't for the month and the year. So they've clicked continue, and what happens is this error message pops up and the focus should pop up also. So here we've got a state where there are two errors, and these are your errors. So what we want to explain to the developers is focus should come here, then it should be this when the user taps. So if a user is using keyboard, then they would tap to here. Once they've clicked on this, it would lead to that one. And if they clicked on this, this would lead to that one also. So to do that, what we're going to do is make sure that this is within a frame. And search within our assets for order. Let's drag that out of the auto layout. Let's now show that it would hit here, then here. Change the numbers. And that this would lead to here and here. So let's change this to 2.1. Show the correlations. Here, I've done one that goes into a bit more detail. So this shows that this is directly linked to these fields. I've also got some information about the annotations. So it just talks about the focus order. So for number 1, focus order over here, the display error summary should be at the top and the focus automatically taken there. Number 2 and number 3, when the users focus on the error summary links, it should be in a focused yellow state as shown above. And 2.1 and 3, which is over here, each field should be associated with the error message link selected by the user, and where the error occurred, it should be highlighted in red and only receive the yellow border once the focus is taken there, with an example here. One thing to note is this is the GDS guidelines and it is recommended to have summaries, but it's not necessary to pass the WCAG criteria. To pass WCAG, you need to have a error message text alongside, either below or to the side. It's a typical placement of where the error has occurred. You can also provide a bit more description about values. So depending on what the user enters, for example, if they enter no value into here, the error would be, please enter an email address. That kind of information you can provide to the developers as well. Imagine this label would be something along the lines of your email address.